لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك.
This brief YouTube video covers the essence and spirit of the Hajj. The production of the video was inspired by my daughter Fatima and her husband Tayo Sulaiman, who performed their Hajj. My decision to produce this YouTube video was also motivated by my daughter Sumaya and my son-in-law Sizwe Mpofu Walsh, who will be performing their Hajj during Hajj 2025. The Hajj personifies the sociological makeup of the Muslim world. Pilgrims from all walks of life, every social stratum, every race, all nations, tribes, and professions converge as an Ummah, one single community, united in their belief in one God, and that Prophet Muhammad is the last of Allah's message bearers to humanity. Peace and blessings upon him and all of God's prophets, the rulers and the ruled, the kings and their subjects, are all subjected to the same godly commandments and spiritual rituals guiding them how to perform their Hajj. No one is more equal than another or the other. The Hajj comprised of several spiritual coordinated rituals, but the motherly trials, tribulation, and exemplary faith in Allah of the distinguished and noble Hajar and her son Ismail are amongst the central spiritual lessons of the Hajj. Allah's peace and blessings on both. A relentless search for water in the middle of the desert for a son to quench his thirst personifies a mother's love for her child. Also, her unshakable faith teaches us that God is the ultimate provider of sustenance. She sprinted between the hills of Mount Safa and Marwa in the blazing desert heat in search of water. But God guided her to discover a water well now called Zamzam. Pilgrims emulate her characterized example to sprint between the hills of Safa and Marwa as part of the spiritual rituals of the Hajj. It is obligated on Muslims to perform their Hajj once during their lifetime, if they are by the financial and other means to do so. Because this is a short YouTube video on the Hajj, I am focusing specifically on the Hajj performed by Malcolm X, also known as Malik al-Shabazz. Focusing on Malcolm X's experience gives us a sense of the spirit and essence of the Hajj as the fifth pillar of Islam. The video focuses on what motivated him, inspired him, and awakened the spirit of Ubuntu in him. Ubuntu, an African term, personifies our sense of community, our togetherness with others in a brotherly or sisterly spirit as part of our common humanity devoid of racism. and free from all other man-made or constructed social, economic, and other barriers which divide us into class differentiation. But above all, the God consciousness and Allah awareness awakened within us, the spirit to think of ourselves as part of humanity, equal in every sense of the word. But focusing on Malcolm X, his Hajj experience made him reflect on his own upbringing in the United States as an African American whose ancestors were slaves. It was the antisocial, societal, structured, and constituted racism perpetrated against him that made him resort to reciprocal black racism and the black nationalism of the Nation of Islam in the United States. The Hajj taught him that humankind and humanity are equal in front of Allah, also revered as God. The Hajj transformed Malcolm X's perception and viewpoint of humankind and the various races or tribes which form the building blocks of one common humanity. His book titled The Autobiography of Malcolm X was co-authored by Alex Haley. Under the heading Malcolm X's Letter from Hajj, dated 1964, he puts his Hajj experience in his own words. The following are a shortened version of his Hajj letter. Never have I witnessed such sincere hospitality and overwhelming spirit of true brotherhood as is practiced by people of all colors and races here in this ancient holy land, the home of Abraham, Muhammad, and all the other prophets of the holy scriptures. Peace and blessings of God upon them and all the other prophets. For the past week, I have been utterly speechless and spellbound by the graciousness I see displayed all around me by people of all colors. I have been blessed to visit the holy city of Mecca. I have made my 7 circuits around the Kaaba, led by a young mutawaf, a tour guide named Muhammad. I drank water from the well of the Zamzam. I ran 7 times back and forth between the hills of Mount Al-Safa and Al-Marwa. I have prayed in the ancient city of Mina, and I have prayed on Mount Arafat. There were tens of thousands of pilgrims from all over the world. They were of all colors, from blue-eyed blondes to black-skinned Africans. But we were all participating in the same ritual, displaying a spirit of unity and brotherhood that my experiences in America had led me to believe never could exist between the white and non-white. America needs to understand Islam because this is the one religion that erases from its society the race problem. Throughout my travels in the Muslim world, I have met, talked to, and even eaten with people who in America would have been considered white. But the white attitude was removed from their minds by the religion of Islam. I have never before seen sincere and true brotherhood practiced by all colors together, irrespective of their color. You may be shocked by these words coming from me, but on this pilgrimage, what I have seen and experienced has forced me to rearrange much of my thought patterns previously held and to toss aside some of my previous conclusions. During the past 11 days here in the Muslim world, I have eaten from the same plate, drunk from the same glass, and slept in the same bed or on the same rug, while praying to the same God with fellow Muslims. whose eyes were the bluest of blue, whose hair was the blondest of blonde, and whose skin was the whitest of white. And in the words, in the actions, and in the deeds of the white Muslims, I felt the same sincerity that I felt among the black African Muslims of Nigeria, Sudan, and Ghana. We were truly all the same brothers, because their belief in one God had removed the white from their minds, the white from their behavior, and the white from their attitude. Never have I been so highly honored. Never have I been made to feel more humble. Who would believe the blessings that have been heaped upon an American Negro? A few nights ago, a man who would be called in America a white man, a United Nations diplomat, an ambassador, a companion of kings, gave me his hotel suite, his bed. Never would I have even thought of dreaming that I would ever be a recipient of such honors. Honors that in America would be bestowed upon a king, not a Negro. All praise is due to Allah, the Lord of all the worlds. This concludes Malcolm X's Hajj experience as quoted from his Hajj letter.
لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك لك لبيك إن الحمد والنعمة لك والملك لا شريك لك لبيك اللهم لبيك لبيك لا شريك